And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Umstead. I am the host of the RNG radio show and also the owner of the Robert Nathaniel Group. I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning. And what a beautiful day it is, despite hearing sirens first thing in the morning. So for those that are living in Philadelphia, you probably know about the curfew and everything like that. But waking up, I'm used to just waking up to peace and quiet, or birds chirping, tweet, 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 little tweet, tweet, tweet. Now it's like, wee, wee, wee. And I'm like, oh my God, people, can you just go home? So with that, there's usually these anxiety buildup. So before I get into the credit repair, resume writing and such, I wanted to talk about your health with all of this and things that you could do and things that we're actually going to do right now on this show to go over ways to lessen that anxiety without having to, pretty much take 2 bottles to the head to get rid of this anxiety. Because once you take a bottle to the head, that anxiety is going to come right back, and even in so much worse ways. So I was on, yeah, sure, I'll accept Healthline. I'm on healthline.com, and it goes over 16 simple ways to relieve stress and anxiety, but I'm only going to pull a few out that we could go over today. So the first one is light a candle. Honestly, I was like, that's it. So merely just lighting a candle. The lavender smell is actually supposed to be a type of tranquility. So that way when you do smell it and, you are breathing it in, that aroma and everything like that will eventually calm you down. 9 times out of 10, this is why usually when, for those that do the psychic readings, they typically will light a candle. I believe there's more deeper stuff into it, but ultimately it's like, hey, let's bring it down, folks. We're just going to calm it down here a little bit before we go into what we need to get into. And therapy sessions as well, they will light a candle. So using essential oil. So even if you do have something of an essential oil that you can plug in, hey, plug it in. Incense, same thing. Light an incense and get the party going. This one hurt me because I was like, wait, I don't want to though. No. Reduce your caffeine intake. Yes, believe it or not, that cup of coffee in the morning or even that soda is not helping you at all. So look at reducing your caffeine intake. Now, if you're the type of person that drinks 4 cups of coffee in the morning, you might want to cut it down to 2, then down to 1, and eventually where it's completely done. They put down here, now they say this in regards to this. If you notice that caffeine makes you jittery or anxious, consider cutting back. So if you've already got anxiety built up because, certain recent events, blah, 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 then by all means look to cut it back, until your body is at that level where it should be. Studies do show that coffee can be healthy in moderation, but it's not for everyone. Wow, this got me, folks. In general, 5 or fewer cups per day is considered a moderate amount. I'm just usually doing 1 a day, but now I can up the ante so I can be considered moderate. The other thing, and this is for those that like to write with pen and paper and even type it up, write it down. One way to handle stress is to write things down. So here's my added to that. When you're writing things down, also write down your goals. What are you going to do after this? What are you going to accomplish once all this blows over? Once you can get back into the city, if you are in that type of situation, or what's going to be your next steps to reach your passion and reach your goals. So chew gum. Stick a gum in your mouth, start chewing, and just go at it. Now, don't be getting no gum that's going to be like what was it? Juicy fruit back in the day. Juicy fruit was amazing that first 10 seconds. After that, why did it get so dry? Oh my gosh. So go and find some gum. I would highly recommend. I think it's 5 or extra. Definitely extra. That one. And it's the little ones that look like chiclets. I'm looking right at it. Febreze or something like that. But definitely the extra ones will work. Um, Laugh. Find something funny to watch and just laugh. Put on an old episode of something on Netflix that you used to watch, Hulu that you used to watch. Put it up on your phone, but something that's going to make you laugh to overcome that. Excuse me. In the long term, laughter can also help improve your immune system and mood. And then the last one that I wanted to go over with is listening to soothing music. Now, what I do, and I'm actually going to put a sample out here for it, is I typically put on this Spotify playlist called Chill Hop. Now, Chill Hop is available on YouTube. If you I shouldn't say if you have access to YouTube, but pull it up on YouTube because if you don't have access, then you can't watch me. So I want you to watch me. So on YouTube, if you find Chill Hop, you'll actually really enjoy it. And let's give a sample. Hey, Google, play Chill Hop.
All right, Chill Hop by Hip Hop Lo-Fi Beats. Playing on Spotify.
Wait this. Watch this. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Google, I'm live. Come on. Come on. You know what? We're just going to pull it up on the old-fashioned way on the phone so that way you guys can get an idea as far as what I'm talking about. I hate when this happens. See, this is the part where I don't like about being live. I'm thinking everything is going to be back-to-back. We're going to be good to go and such, and then I got to deal with that, and all I'm trying to do is play y'all a little sample. Ready for it? So find some type of soothing music to mellow you out, get you calm, get you cool, to make you feel relaxed. Because the whole thing about having anxiety is that your pressure is up. You're like, what is going on? I'm trying to get this done. I'm trying to get that done. And for me, somebody who thinks of the world as a whole, I'm thinking that, oh my gosh, this is probably going here. In this county, I'm pretty sure they're dealing with this. I know that they're dealing with it in this county. And of course, you can't change the world. Some people just feel like that naturally because either the love that they want to bring or they're just really, really concerned as far as what's going on with the rest of the world, such as myself. So, folks, find ways, and it doesn't have to be these. I told you there was 16. I obviously didn't go through all those 16, but find something. This is my motivation. I wanted to start with this just because of recent events, because the more that we talk about the situation at hand, the less we get to improving upon ourselves. The less we take away from how we can grow within ourselves. So to do that and to combat with that, if you are feeling stressed and if you are feeling anxious and it's like, I don't know what to do, my anxiety is building up, try those steps or look for some steps that will help you out in the long run. So, starting off, as we always do, with credit repair. Now, for those folks that are looking to get credit repair and get signed up to fix their credit, 267-702-3756, I'd be more than happy. Now, I went to badcredit.org, and there is a article updated as of June 1st. So this is recent, folks. Today's June 2nd, 2020. This was done yesterday, June 1st, 2020. So the 2020 expert opinion, does credit repair really work? So the first paragraph goes like this. Does credit repair really work? It's a question that has been asked by countless times by consumers whose credit score has fallen on hard times and who are ready to get their financial life back on track. So they answer yes. Can you believe that they answered yes? This person had this expert opinion and said yes. But so long as your items qualify for dispute. What? Dan, but you do credit repair. Is that the same for you guys? Yes, folks. Yes, it is. Please understand something. We can't just immediately go straight in. No credit repair can just immediately go straight in and say, hey, listen, I don't have your social. I don't have any information about you, but I can guarantee you 5 of those items on your credit report are going to be removed. Nobody in their right mind is able to do that, folks. I want you to understand that. Nobody in their right mind is able to do that. The success stories that we have had, I'm pretty sure later on down the line, I'm going to have somebody who's like, damn, this credit repair program didn't do anything for me, and have to work on refunding their money. That's fine with me. But those countless others who, need that credit repair fix, need those items removed, have repossessions, have medical bills showing up, and they need to get their credit fixed, by all means, they will see that improvement. But yes, there are going to be those few that is like, hey, my items aren't qualified for being disputed. Okay, then that's fine. There's going to be something that's automatic. I can't dispute my car note right now, but it's going to be listed on my credit report. In addition, I did send it off with my credit dispute letter saying like, hey, that right there, Emma, I don't know what you're talking about. That is not mine at all. And it's like, what? You're currently paying on it. What? Say what? I am? That is something else. That is something else. Oh my gosh. So please know that, with your credit repair, yes, there's going to be certain items that can be removed. There's going to be certain items that cannot be removed. So, and essentially, this sums it up, folks. This is why credit repair is not that hard at all. Credit repair is a process of disputing items on your credit report that are unfair or an inaccurate representation of your financial history. That's it, folks. Honestly, that's what we do. But here's the thing. You can easily go to annualcreditreport.com. You can easily pull up your credit report. You can easily pull up Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion address, PO box information, and you can easily draft up credit dispute letters and send them off. And that's it. That's it. They're gone. You can send them off and be like, I did a good deed today. But you yourself don't have 12 free services included with that credit dispute letter. You don't have services such as Privacy Armor that insures you up to $1 million in case something bad happens or you fall across any type of identity theft. So these are the things that are included. We go over wills and trusts. We go over credit monitoring. We have a group of credit attorneys that we work with. That group, I do not know. Could be 3 people, could be 5 people, could be 50 people. But let me tell you something. When you actually do your credit dispute letters, please let me know if you got a lawyer in your background or somebody that you can reach out to inquire about that, folks. I'm not trying to hard sell you, but what I am trying to tell you is that the services that I provide will always be yours out 12-1 if you do it on your own. It's just inevitable. So, now, how this increases, the items most likely to be successfully disputed. The best way to have credit repair success is to know what to expect from the process before you get started. So, folks, the website that I have goes over all of that, breakdowns. If you go into it with an inflated sense of what you'll accomplish, you'll obviously be disappointed in the end. It took me 3 months, folks, to get started with this credit repair program because I took my time, I did my research. So those folks that are looking at this today, hey, if you come back to me around September or October and say, hey, Dan, you know what? I did my research. I see that I wasn't improving upon my own. I'm ready to get started. I don't have a problem with that. What I don't want is for you to think that you got to wait a year or 2 to see actual results. And that is not the case because it's something that you want to do on your own. They also go over as far as the type of items that can be looked at. So you have erroneous items. These are the easiest type of item to dispute. It's one that is just flat out erroneous, like spelling mistakes or misreported amounts or information. So something as basic as far as somebody named John Doe Jr. and John Doe Sr. John Doe Sr. has $10,000 of debt. Yet somehow John Doe Jr. was the one that's shown with the $10,000 debt. So with that, it's like, okay, here's the dispute in regards to, all right, well, you got some misinformation, so obviously this is mine. So those are the quickest ones, but believe it or not, folks, a lot of people don't look at their credit report and see that, oh, wow, this is actually viable that can be removed. Another one that can be removed is outdated items. Another type of disputable item that's generally easy to fix are items that are outdated. So these are things that should have been removed, from the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that should have been taken off from your credit report because hey, they're old. They have no reason being on there in the first place. Fraudulent items, if you've ever been the victim of identity theft, you could wind up with fraudulent accounts on your credit reports. So that's another thing that needs to be looked at as well, folks. And most of these hackers and the people that are doing identity theft and fraud, for the most part, they know what they're doing. So they know that, hey, this person is making 60,000. So if they're showing a debt of $500, but if they do that 10 times over, 100 times over, 1,000 times over, it's not going to affect that individual person. But in the long run, it will. So these are the types of things that you need to be looking out for on your credit report, so you're not dealing with identity theft or fraud. And unsubstantiated items. The last of the frequently disputed items are those accounts and reports that cannot be substantiated by the information providers. If they are not able to show that the debt or derogatory mark really belongs to you, the credit bureaus will remove the item. So those unsubstantiated items could be the ones that it's like, hey, we're pretty much stuck here, with it. So kind of like my car note example. Hey, you're paying this. What? Am I? And you're showing that it's current. Is it though? Is it? So a lot of people, try to flip flame and get over. I work with a lot of vendors in the call center, and typically we do hire a lot of fraud analysts for the call centers, and a lot of times that they come across is people trying to get over on the banks themselves, saying like, I have no idea where that purchase came from. I have no idea. And sometimes they get a credit back on their account, sometimes they don't. But what to look out for, and what's interesting is that, that the bank allows a certain number of credits to go onto a person's account. Can you believe that? If somebody says, no, I didn't pay $50 for that, even though they got it in the house, they're looking right at it. They got the receipt sitting on top of the item, but yet, people still will fight and say, no, that wasn't mine. And then the vendors themselves or the banks themselves will provide that credit. I say this because you never know what you're going to expect. You never know how, disputing these items on your credit report is going to come back to you. And you got to remember, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they're all for-profit companies. There's nothing about them that says nonprofit or we're trying to help ourselves to credit repair or assisting folks with credit repair. Everything is about money, money, money. So going to them, and disputing items that it's not making them money, they might just say, you know what, you're absolutely right, this actually doesn't belong to you. Cool, we'll remove it. And that's that, folks. That's that, and it's that simple. All right, now on to the next thing, which I actually want to thank my son for this one. I was talking to my son last night, and I said, hey, kiddo, what should I be going over with folks in regards to real estate? So first he tells me, oh, well, Dad, why don't you talk about how they can purchase a house during COVID-19? I was like, son, I actually already went over that. I was like, what else? He was like, well, how to invest? And I was like, how to invest? I'm always following other folks on how to invest in real estate, but I never share the information on how to invest in real estate. So with that being said, I have here from NerdWallet actually, how to invest in real estate, 5 ways to get started. So first one, buy real estate investment trust. Now, I just want to make it plain and clear with the real estate investment trust is something similar to like a mutual fund. So you're pretty much purchasing into it. And with mutual funds, hey, they are mutual. So more than one individual is pretty much going into the same trust fund as you are. The benefit that you have is that once everybody goes in and is purchased property, then the rest of the amount dispersed. Kind of like when everybody goes into a stock, and then when the earnings come out and it gets dispersed, that's pretty much the same way. But I am only going briefly over these things because there is so much information in regards to how to invest in real estate that even if I was an expert in the field, I don't want to throw you off on the wrong path because you should be doing your own research, okay? Don't be just saying, oh, Dan knows about REITs. I will look into REITs. Oh, hello, REIT. How are you today? It doesn't work like that, folks. You got to Google. You got to check out YouTube videos. You got to talk to people. You got to connect with folks about it. Using online real estate investing platforms. So certain things as far as like crowdfunding, There's another one as well where you're pretty much doing similar to the same things as REIT, but you're actually working with other individuals on an online platform to get to where you need to be at. So crowdfunding, I believe it's called, is one way where you pretty much put money in, but it's the fancy, or I should say simplified way of it is putting is that it's a GoFundMe page, but that GoFundMe is tied specifically to the type of property that you're going to be investing and looking at. Number 3, think about investing in rental properties. Simple as that. Find a property that you can either rent out or look for those rental properties themselves. Number 4, consider flipping investment properties. So especially at a time like this, a lot of places are going to be at a point where their renovations are getting halfway done, the rehabs are getting halfway done. So those investment properties, hey, you could possibly go in, sweep in, completely get rid of, done the rest of the work, and then put it right on the market by reaching out to a realtor, 267-702-3756. And last but not least, renting out a room. So if you have a house similar to the one that I have right now, I like my privacy. I would love to do it, but I like my privacy. You can look to renting out a room. Now, where I'm at right now, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and definitely my middle room is way wide open. But to have somebody in there that's possibly a stranger and they really don't have their own personal cutoff access, where they have their own personal privacy. The reason why I say that is because the door handle had broken off. It's a very old house, But if you do have the capacity and you do have the space, definitely rent out a room or rent out the basement. I had a friend of mine, frat brother, when he started or coming out of college and everything like that, he was living down in the basement, but it was a full finished basement. He had his own private access and walkway, and he could pretty much go there at any time. Meanwhile, the owners lived right above him. You know, so if you have something like that, which would be perfectly ideal for me, then definitely look into that. So those are 5 different ways that you can look to investing into real estate, folks. And last but not least, since we already went over motivation, I wanted to go over in regards to finding a job. Now, finding a job right now might be on a delay because the jobs that you want aren't available, or the office that you're looking to work in isn't even open. So I went on to Indeed.com, and they have 10 6-month certificate programs that lead to high-paying jobs. I'm just going to pretty much go through all of them and let you know what the average salary is based upon Indeed, so that way you get an idea. Emergency medical technician, $14.65 an hour. Funeral director, $18.90 per hour. Brick mason, now this one might be a little bit difficult because certain places aren't allowing construction to be done right now, but in the long run, definitely don't forget also there's going to be certain areas as well that you can go to. But brick mason, that national average salary is $20.51 per hour. Personal trainer, $21 per hour. Now with the personal trainer, honestly, you can just start doing workout videos and get fit and then show everybody how fit you are. Medical coder, $21.64 per hour. A firefighter, the national average salary starts off at $44,505 per year. So they are still considered essential employees, so definitely something to look at. Air traffic controller, which I didn't know about, $47,202 per year national average salary. Automobile service station manager, $23.59 per hour. A real estate broker, $71,287 per year. Folks, let me explain something here real quick. And I'm just going to give you the basic. If I were to sell a $200,000 home, typically I get, as the buyer's agent, if I find a buyer that's willing to purchase that home, 3% of that $200,000 comes out to be $6,000. Now, to get up to that 72 marker, I would need to sell 12 homes. That's 1 house per month. So with the real estate broker, it's not so much in regards to getting there in about 6 months, because to become a broker, you become the salesperson first. Now, this is just for Pennsylvania. I don't know about New Jersey, Delaware, all the other states, but for Pennsylvania, I will tell you this because my plan is to become a broker, but I will tell you this. When you start off, being a real estate salesperson. You need to be a real estate salesperson for about 1 to 2 years. After that second year marker, then you could look to becoming a licensed broker and then gravitate from there. So, but yeah, if you were to sell one house, that's $200,000 on a monthly basis, boom, you'll reach that $72,000 per year marker. Margin department supervisor. What is a margin department supervisor that makes $74,845? So, a margin department supervisor is a great example of a high-paying job you can earn with on-the-job training and minimal education requirements. Margin department supervisors oversee a company's credit department, manage customer credit accounts, and approve or deny credit to customers. So, on a high scale, they're pretty much on the opposite side. So that is why I feel that credit repair is really, really important, folks, because you never know when you might need it just for something simply so you can beat up the margin department supervisor. So, folks, to wrap it up here, we went over jobs that are paying right now. We had discussed for the real estate, top 5 ways to get into it. We also discussed about from badcredit.org in regards to if credit repair companies are even worth it and will they help you? Yes, yes, they will. And then last but not least, first thing that we talked about was getting rid of stress and anxiety. So folks, be blessed, stay calm, be safe as always, and things will get better. Things are getting better as it is because you have another day on this beautiful earth and beautiful world that we live in right now. So folks, stay blessed, and as always, stay blessed, my fellow millionaires. Have a good one.